Said me and you, no matter what we face, Mike and Paige, we found a place between us.
Ooh, I see those arms.
I had to bring them out.
Listen,
Are they oiled
bring
up?
them out, bring them out.
Yeah.
Looking good.
I'm
Okay,
trying
you
to
don't
do a
need to show
little
all
something.
that. That's enough.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, baby.
I'm just kidding.
You like my arms, though.
I
Like,
love your arms. The
that's
first time
why
I
I
met
walk 'em
you, I
out.
was like,
That's why I be in the gym like,
Mhm.
yeah.
You look so good, honey.
Thank you. I told you, man.
That's s'mores.
They say, you know what? It's happiness and hydration and going to the gym because black don't crack, but it will swell. It will swell.
It will swell.
I tell people all the time, like, okay, you're getting older. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. Black might not crack and you might look young, but you might,
Right.
you know what I mean? So you still got to go to the gym. You got to eat right. You got to do the right
Well,
thing.
you look great.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank
You
you.
look incredible. You always look incredible. Your skin is, let me just stop because I might stop this podcast right now because I'm telling you, man, like the more I'm in the gym, the more.
Okay, well, listen, it is between us, but it's not between everybody all the time.
Well, I thought we were sharing.
Well, you missed to take it too far. You know,
but you know that about me
I
already.
know.
Yeah.
But, honey,
Hey,
it's another episode.
another episode of Between Us podcast.
That's amazing.
It is. We have not been. You know what? I kid and say we have not been canceled, but we are actually growing.
Yes,
We are actually growing.
We're only 5
Like,
episodes in.
people, the feedback has been amazing, and once again, I know we start every episode by saying thank you, but we truly want to thank you because your feedback has been encouraging and it makes us excited about doing these
It's like fueling
uniforms.
our train.
Yep.
So keep it coming because we're
Yep.
like, oh, let's keep going. The people like it. And we love giving it. Like we love pouring back into people. That's one of our love languages, just outside of, pouring into one another, pouring into other people. We always pray everybody attached to us is prospering. Everybody attached to us is growing up. Everybody attached to us is healthy and wealthy and everything that wealth is to me, which is not just money.
Right.
It's spiritually, it's mentally, it's emotionally, it's physically. And I want all of that wealth.
All of it.
Everybody attached us, including all of you who watch Between Us.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is the great Mike Hill.
and this is the incomparable Paige Turner. She is incredible. She is my baby, my love, my life,
You're
man.
my honey. I love you so much.
I love when you do that. Today we want to talk about change. We want to talk about pivots because.
Wait a minute. We didn't say, and this is Between Us with.
Oh, I thought I did say
Mike
that.
and Paige.
Okay, run it back.
I like that part, honey.
Okay. All right.
It's
So go
another
back.
episode of Between Us with.
Mike and Paige.
And here we go. Let's
And here
kick
we
it
go.
off.
Yeah, we're going to talk about change today.
We're talking about pivoting.
Pivoting, change. A lot of people
Yeah.
are afraid to, or they don't want to pivot or whatnot, or they don't know when to pivot. So we're going to get into those details about it, but we'll talk about from an emotional, professional, and just changing in life, period, because change is hard.
Change is hard, but often necessary.
And very necessary.
And there's a difference for me between just changing, but the pivot. The pivot is different because the pivot is a God lead. The pivot is, something's not working. I've given it some breaths. I've given it some time. I got to make a change.
You got to make a change.
So pivot isn't something. So when you pivot, you just got to turn.
You got to turn.
And
It's
you got
a
it by
hard
faith.
turn.
It is a hard turn.
Yep.
It's a turning away from something that's just not working.
Right.
So I've often called myself self-proclaimed, especially on the shows I've been on, especially with Fix My Flip, the queen of pivoting.
Right.
Because when you're deep in a renovation, and I often equate real home renovations with a life renovation because it all starts at the foundation.
Right.
Right. Any good renovation, any good rehab, any good flip starts with the foundation and going up. Same thing. Our foundation would be our soul. So being on Fix My, just forget TV, but being a real flipper in real estate for 26 years now, sometimes you get into a point where it's like, okay, I need to make a change and I don't have time to go back to the drawing board. I have to make a change on that dime and make that quick pivot. So I have called myself the queen of pivot. And when I look back over my life, it's an old song, I'm like, I pivoted there, and it works.
Right.
Sometimes it may not work, but the thing is, all things work together. All things work good. What is it? Hold on, cut that, let me rewind. All things work together for the good. Thank you. Let's try it again. So there's a scripture that says, all things work together for the good, for those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. So when you know you got to pivot and you're called according to his purpose, then you follow that pivot.
You better preach. You better say it. My baby knows the Bible too. She does. She's taught me so much about the Bible. She's taught me how to pray. Well, everybody's a little complex. We're very complex.
We're complex.
My baby like, praise God.
No, don't say it. That was the worst days of my life. I can't believe I did that.
No,
oh my God.
It's often, but it's okay.
Oh, Jesus.
It's okay, but I'm
trying, Lord.
God ain't done with us yet. God has given us this sense of humor. He's given us these personalities, and he understands, and he gets it. And it's fine. But the pivot, I always go back every time. It seems like every time I talk about this episode, these episodes, I talk about the reasons I fell in love with you. And
you do. I appreciate
when you
that.
told me your story, once again, so many stories. You got to write a book. That's another pivot. When you're going to write this book one day, because people need to know how inspirational you are and what you've been able to overcome and the things you've done. You share a lot of it here on the podcast, but one of the things that caught my attention was your pivot from going into real estate, doing what you did and being highly successful in Nashville as a real estate broker, owner, investor, flipper, doing all those things, to all of a sudden seeing an advertisement and saying, you know what, I'm in my mid-40s, I want to be on TV.
Yeah, I was done.
You've done some things, I believe, television-wise. You're always been a great public speaker. You ran for city council in Nashville, and your story and whatnot. You've always been super articulate and very gregarious and very charismatic. So you've always been all those things. But to go and say, I want to be on television like that, like a lot of people do, and actually do it and have the nerve to do it and just get on, that right there was like, okay, at the age of 44, when a lot of people feel like, I'm too old, it's too late for me, that would have been something I would have done in my 20s had I been in my 20s. And that's why when I look back and people come to me and say, I wanted to be a sportscaster, I'm like, what's stopping you now? It's not stopping. What's stopping you? You're only stopping yourself.
Right.
So when you made that pivot to go out of the real estate world to say, you know what, I want to be on television and still do some things within real estate and flipping, but
I still got my licenses.
Yep. That to me meant a lot. So what gave you the courage and the belief that you could do it?
You know what pivoting is? It's just faith.
Yeah.
And faith is probably the hardest muscle to get strong, because you're believing in something that is not as though it is, and you're trusting God to do something that you can't see or hear,
right.
And you just doing it like it's just faith. That's all pivot is. I am blessed to have a very strong pivot muscle, faith muscle, because really, I think I've always been like a strong little girl, because I've shared with you about that 9-year-old little girl that I got out of therapy from when my dad died. But I really think it comes from raising those 3 girls. And like my pivot with that is, I didn't want to be with her dad, but it was like, you really ain't gonna help me. Not even a dime? You're not gonna give me a dime to help raise these 3 babies? Forget the money. You play 7, 8, 9 instruments that you were self-taught, and I'm paying for piano lessons, and I just had to buy a clarinet and to get clear. Oh, and my daughter's the first girl and youngest drum major at her high school, but I gotta get a tutor. Oh, so you're not gonna help with nothing. So I had to pivot every single second of their lives to make sure I could create as best as possible a whole young woman to give out into the world.
Right.
So my faith muscle started when I had these girls, and I was like, I gotta feed them. Oh, okay. I'm born and raised LA. I don't even know what Nashville is. I don't even know what the South is. I didn't even really know the map. I just knew LA and New York, maybe Miami.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
I didn't know anything in between. I was like, there's another way to live. I'm gonna die in LA. I'm gonna be poor in LA. And I had to pivot. I had to find a better way to give them a lifestyle that I couldn't afford in LA at 23 with 3 kids. I couldn't do it.
And you did.
So, but that came from this pivot muscle, which is a faith muscle.
Yeah. It's important to have the faith, to understand that there's a God-given talent that you have within you, or a God-given ability that you have within you that allows you to go out there and do it. You know
what's crazy about that? My mom was agnostic, so I didn't grow up with any God.
Oh.
I went to Catholic school, but we weren't Catholic, so she had to pay a couple $1,000s a year more, which is interesting. Another conversation. So and then I ended up getting kicked out of that school because I asked Sister Anna Maria why we worshiping all these people, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, when Prince said that we shall serve no. Prince said we are not to serve any other gods because we serve a jealous God. And I said, well, Sister Anna Maria, that's not what Prince said.
What? No, Prince.
Isn't that so odd?
You got kicked out. Yeah.
Then I met God. I met Jesus. I met this salvation walk when I was 19, before I even had kids.
Right.
So that's when my faith curiosity started. based off a song I heard from CeCe and BB Winans called I'm Lost Without You. I thought I was talking about a boo, but I was like, they couldn't be talking about no dude.
Right.
I ain't never heard I've never seen a love like that. So that's where my pivot faith muscle started.
But I think it started there. You've probably discovered it.
I discovered it there,
but it was innate.
That's
sometimes
true.
I think sometimes when you have this, okay, this ain't working, or there's a dead end here. Okay, we can pivot here, or we can go over here. Okay, there's a mountain here. Oh, I can climb that mountain, or I can go through it, or I can go back around and go through this deep. And I'm not afraid because I know I'm gonna get to my destination.
You know what you're saying? What I just saw you do is strategize, and I've been a strategist my whole life.
Yeah, it's been innate.
How am I gonna get this? That comes from my daddy.
Yeah. Because
that was my daddy.
That's DNA. That's within you. That's something
Absolutely.
That's within you.
Yeah.
And
then my girls helped me strengthen it.
Yeah.
They gave me words
for
it.
I think that your girls gave you reason too. Sometimes your pivots, once again, and people don't understand this, like sometimes your pivots come from your obstacles, from the things that are supposed to be your detriments, or supposed to be your burdens out there in life, or whatever. And that's why I always say your burdens turn into your blessings if you learn the lessons, right?
Yeah.
So your burdens become your blessings because all of a sudden there's this job ends. And there is no more work in this field. Oh my gosh, well, I need to pivot.
Right.
Even as a sportscaster right now, I'm still pivoting. Even as a broadcaster, I'm pivoting. Doing this podcast,
this is a pivot.
I'm pivoting. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like I was so used to the media, being on national television, cable, sportscasting, ESPN, Fox Sports, Netflix, doing all that. Oh, I got to go and do a podcast, and there's a million other podcasts. Okay, but how do I pivot and make it different and make it better? It's still a pivot, but I'm not afraid to do it. But I have to make sure when I do it, I'm such, like you said, a strategist. It has to be the right way. I have to think about it first. I can't just okay, I see what's ahead, and I see this big roadblock. I see this big detour sign ahead, and God keeps telling you there's a detour sign ahead. Oh, okay, you're going to go through that detour sign. God is telling you that the road is about to be wiped out.
Right.
You better turn your ass around.
Right.
You better turn and make a right-hand turn and go off this exit and get around the other way. I've been able to see those things in my life.
But that's where we have a good balance, because we are both strategists. We're both visionaries. We're both strategists, but I'm like, 100-meter dash, let's go.
Right.
You're like, hold on.
Yep.
We're going. Let's just take a breath and look first.
Let's think about it. Okay.
And I'm like, we can just look on the way, which has worked out for me. But at the same time, when I look back, I hit a lot of road bumps on my way during the pivot that had I just learned to take a breath and maybe ran the 400 instead of the 100, right? I would still been to the same destination, just without as many
You'll have
bruises.
more endurance. You might get there faster, but sometimes getting there faster doesn't mean it's going to be better.
Well, first of all, I told you that.
No, I know you did. You always
it was a cute
I'm
little
learning.
book.
See, I'm listening.
You are. I like that.
I'm listening.
So actually, I stole it from somebody.
Yeah, I'm listening.
And I try to play it off like it was mine. But no, it was from a show or a movie I just saw. It was on maybe Netflix. I don't know. And they said, if you want to go quick, go alone.
Yep.
If you want to go further, go with someone.
Go with someone.
I said, I'd go with him.
And like you said, there's a good balance, because you do have that mindset. We got to do this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. Let's breathe. Let's think about it before we do this. Okay, yes, I agree we need to do this, but let's strategize. We just can't do, and we got to take priorities. We got to put them in order. We have to kind of sort them out, because I like structure. That's my military background. It's always been in me.
So you have military background. I have survival background. So it's like, but when the two meet, it got us here. It's got us in our relationship, kept us in our relationship.
Right.
I mean, it's really a beautiful combination.
It is. And that's what I'm saying. It's a good mix.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't both be like, okay, let's go 1,000 miles an hour. We'd be crashing all over the place.
Yeah.
And we'd be butting heads about a lot of different things, because you might want to go this way, I might want to go that way, or whatever. Right. Luckily, we're going in the same direction. There's just a different speed about it right now because of the structures that's involved in it. So,
like, I'll nudge you, like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. We need to do this, create our own economy. You're like, I hear you. We're going to do all of that.
Like when you're talking about this, we want to own our own business, get our own business. Okay, so what kind of business you want to get?
I'm like,
what are we going to do?
I got 10 of them.
Okay, well, which one is going to be one? Okay, let's pick one. Yeah, let's pick one. Let's focus. Let's maybe, if you got 10, let's pick 3.
Right.
But let's pick 3 and figure out the best 3, and like, okay, well, where we're going to do it, where we're going to put these. If we do vending machines, we're going to put the vending machines.
We're going to put it in the garage
put a sticker.
at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Who going to go to the garage to
Who's gonna run them?
Kelly.
Let's think about all these different questions. Okay, well, we just can't assume that all these people that have been there for you over the years, A, are going to be there for you, or B, want to actually be there
at 2 o'clock in the morning in the
morning.
garage with all of our Amazon products.
There's a lot of things that go into the pivot, man. And once again, if you're thinking about pivot, once again, it's there's nothing wrong with it. But have a strategy, have something that okay, well, if it doesn't work out, what am I going to fall back on? Because you could just go out there and pivot all the damn time and still be in the same place and not have anything. You just have we all know that person that got a million jobs, that has done a million things in their life, and none of them damn things have been successful. Just because you say you're a business owner, you got 20 businesses. Oh, I opened up this business. I got these business. How many have actually worked? Because
how many made money?
How many made money?
Did you file a tax return?
And I'm happy that you're doing it. Don't get me wrong, having that entrepreneurial spirit.
The drive,
but at the same
and the
time, I have actually been with people who open up all these businesses. And I'm like, well, if you open up all these businesses, you know that's your baby. You still got to nurture it. Just because you open and put your name on it don't mean that it's going to be successful.
You got to work.
You got to work. And I'll give you, I told you about it. I give you ideas. Hey, this is what we need to do, how we need to do it or whatever. You don't want to listen? Okay. And then the next thing you know, it's closing down.
Right.
So what have you actually accomplished or whatnot? Right. So that's in business. I made a pivot when I was in the military, my first major pivot.
I hope this is where you're going, because I wanted to say this real quick. You asked, and I shared where my first, where I learned pivoting, and all of that, which of course it was innate in me, but I learned the power of the pivot very early on before I even knew what it was. Now looking back, I have been the queen of pivot my whole life.
Right.
But with you, your pivot is crazy talk. Like, it's wild. Being born in New York, but raised in Bessemer, Alabama. How you say it?
Bessemer. It's Bessemer. But down they say Bessemer.
Teach me.
Belma.
Oh, I never heard you say it like that.
Come on, man.
Say it again.
Come on, you in Alabama, man. You gotta say Belma, Alabama, man.
Belma.
Down, where you on 20 on South Side, Berkeley Avenue?
Belma, Alabama.
Belma, Alabama.
That's it. Belma, Alabama.
Belma. No, it ain't no.
Oh, sorry.
You said Belma, Alabama. No.
You know what I felt like? Who was a character from Fat Albert? Belma, Alabama.
What's his name? Mushmouth.
Belma, Alabama.
Yes. No, it's
so Bessemer.
It's supposed to be pronounced Bessemer.
Bessemer, right?
Bessemer.
So
Bessemer, Alabama.
So born in New York.
Yep.
Where they enunciate all of it.
Over-enunciate everything.
Over-enunciate.
Because they're super strong, hard.
Just to make things clear.
Yeah.
It's not even about academics.
Exactly.
So you clear with what I'm
super
talking
son.
About, right?
Absolutely, son.
But raised mostly in Bessemer.
Alabama. Yep. Raised me.
You kind of picked up a Southern drawl.
Very much so.
And you had to do a huge pivot.
I had to, I had to, because I wanted to be on television. If I wanted to be on television, I actually had to learn how to speak. Again.
This is deep, y'all.
It is. It's like when I made my mind up that I wanted to be on television, first being an actor, but then I said I wanted to be a journalist because I was in journalism class. I remember a guy named Michael Hill, who was on television at the time, who actually became my uncle.
Crazy.
Yeah, I married his niece.
Crazy.
My first wife. Shout out to Tamara.
What's up, Tamara?
But
and your beautiful baby Ashley.
And Ashley, absolutely, our beautiful baby. And then so he said, hey, you know what? You can do it. He gave me the belief that I can do it, but he said, you have got to learn how to enunciate certain words. Because I was like, you talking about how your mom says, complete your ing.
Ing like in king.
Kicking. And I'm from Bessemer, Alabama, I'm talking like this. And so when I would get excited or happy, that the Southern drawl would come out. If I got too upset, the New York side would come out every now and then. So neither worked at that time.
Yeah.
In television.
Right.
Now you can say whatever you want, so you can get away with it. But back then, just to get on television, you had to have like a Midwestern type accent. And so for me to do that, I had to focus when I was in the military, and I had to say, you know what? Brilliant. I have to learn how to speak. So
wait, hold on. Let's just pause right there for a minute. I really want people to take in what pivoting means. A lot of times, pivoting means being brutally honest with yourself.
Yes.
Looking yourself in the mirror and saying, what is it going to take for me to get from here to there?
Yep.
Because it's not always just being who I am. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. It's usually not that. I had a very quick story, very, very close friend of mine, like a sister to me, and highly educated from the South, degreed up,
right,
and wanted to go in certain circles, but she would say salmon. Don't laugh.
Instead of salmon.
because it's an old English word and the L is silent.
Salmon.
So it's just salmon. And so it's very hard for me to just, respectfully and quietly say, hey, but somebody had to tell her. Because we can't keep going to all these beautiful restaurants. And one of my best friends, sister friends, is saying, I'll have the salmon, please.
Salmon,
please. So I was like, I have to talk to her because she's going to be rejected from the situations and circles she wants to go in. That's just the truth. And it is incorrect.
That's a true friend. You're being a true friend.
I had to. I did not want her in spaces where it was highly educated,
right?
But just nobody ever corrected her on how to say salmon.
And you're not trying to embarrass her. You said it.
It was just between
privately.
us.
Hey,
and she didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. I had to have a side conversation with her, just us. I was very sensitive and
and she didn't speak to you for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And her birthday came and her sister called me she wants you to come. I was like, she's so mad at me though. But you know what? Later, a year or two later, we were fine, but she said, thank you.
Yes.
I couldn't receive it then, but you said it because you care about me so much that you don't want me to embarrass myself anywhere. Doesn't matter the circle. You don't want people
behind her back who may be her friends or not her friends talking about this woman because she said something like that. And because when you say things like that, and we're not trying to come down on people who say salmon or anything like that, but in certain circles, people the words that come out of your mouth, how you say them or how you enunciate, your diction, people will judge you based on that.
And you might not get a job
and some people may not care. But,
But what if you're trying to get a job?
Right.
I mean, it could be anything that will keep you from getting to the next place. So I just want to say that little side story real quick, but going back to you, honey, the pivot starts with the ego and starts with the honesty. And I can only imagine you being a young man raised in Bessemer, Alabama, who your soon-to-be mentor at the time, a man you looked up to, said you could never be that because you don't speak like this.
Because you have to learn how to. He was nice about it. I heard him, and I understood that.
How did you accept it? Because you're a Leo and you are very ego-driven.
I am very, and I'm sensitive as well as a Leo. When you criticize me in a sense, I am sensitive. It's like you hear things you don't want to. You think we're perfect.
I just love him. I love you for saying that.
I am a Leo. Because I feel like I'm perfect.
You do.
And you notice I didn't say perfect. I said perfect.
I know. Yeah.
I feel like I'm perfect in most everything I do. I understand I make a couple of mistakes here and there, but I admit them and I correct those things. But when he said it, okay, I heard him because it wasn't like the first time that I heard it. And I also heard what people on television were saying and how they were doing things as well.
But that could have deterred you.
It didn't deter, but once again, it also, what I learned is that there's a part of me that's never going to get it because I'm still having issues to this day because it took a long time for me to just be able to speak and not think.
So what did you do though? So you go to the military.
When I was in the military, they gave you programs. And on my days off or when I had time on my lunch breaks, I would go into this library in the military that was at our disposal.
You didn't say library.
Library. The library. I went to the library and I went and took all these different classes, subject verb agreement, all that on my own, did all of that. I listened to diction. I listened to INGs. Everything I could get on diction, on enunciation.
Wow.
I just took it and I started listening to all these different classes and taking them myself.
You would practice?
Practice. I would practice, be in the mirror. I would read the newspaper in the mirror and I would make sure that I would over-enunciate. And I had to get to the point where I had to stop over-enunciating because I didn't want to be that person. I still didn't want to sound fake.
Right.
So I did that, but that was the first, like you said, I had to get rid of my ego and understand in order for me to make this pivot and do the things that I said I wanted to do and be on television. This kid from Bessemer, Alabama, who had never seen anybody from Bessemer, Alabama, be on television in that regard as a journalist. I didn't have that kind of role model. What do I need to do to get there?
Wow.
And so when you're trying to pivot, you have to ask those questions. What does it take to get there? And am I willing to do what it takes
the work
to make that pivot and to do the work? Like you always say, do the work. Do the work. So So when I was in the military and when I got out, I was in the Air Force. I got a top secret clearance. I worked at NSA. A lot of people don't know that I worked at NSA for the last 3 years. I was in the military. And I could have gotten out of the military, and I tell this story all the time. I could have gotten out of the military because I had gone into private contracting, making $85,000, $90,000 a year as a 24-year-old back then.
Woo.
That was in 19 94.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
That was money for somebody just starting off.
No, it's true. There's money now.
Almost 6-figure contract or whatever. Because I had that.
Right.
Could have gotten bonuses and everything that would have gotten me over 6 figures. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be on television. I wanted to be a journalist. And I sent out all these resume tapes, got rejections or whatever.
How many though?
75.
How many rejections did you get?
72. And I got 3 callbacks out of the 75 that I got. And basically 2 of them were critiquing me and one of them was telling me how bad the tape was. So I got to. But once again, all it takes, and I tell her this all the time, I say, you're going to hear a lot of no's in this business.
Yep.
All it takes is for you to hear one yes.
This one.
The right yes.
Yeah.
And you can hear a lot of yeses in life. And sometimes all yeses aren't good for you.
Yeah.
It's got to be the right yes. And you got to determine where you want to pivot, where you want to go. And that's where the strategy comes in.
Yes.
Of, okay, well, this is where I want to go. This is how I want to project. This is my situation. Can I afford to do this? And even at that time, like I said, I could have been making $85,000, $90,000 a year. The day I got out of the military, I did get a job. I got a call 2 hours after I got out of the military from a guy in Hagerstown, Maryland, and I was making less than $7 an hour as a weekend sports anchor. But I wanted to do it because I knew the plan. I knew I'm going to do what I wanted to do, my passion. I knew I was going to be good at it. And within 3-4 years, I was making $85,000 doing what I wanted to do.
Right.
And after 4 or 5 years, I've been making 6 figures ever since. And I'm not bragging about that, but I'm 30-some years in, 6 figures in.
I'll brag for you.
Okay.
But this is exactly where pivoting can take you. So pivoting usually happens when you're against all odds.
Right.
Pivoting usually happens when you know you've come to the end of a thing.
Yes.
Whether it's a relationship, your career, you just have nothing left in the gas tank. You don't want to ask for any more fuel. And you just know that God is inside of you saying you have to turn this way if you want to realize the purpose God has for you in your life. Now, if you don't, then stay where you are.
Yep.
You stay unfulfilled, which will lead to bitterness, which will lead to anger, hurt, frustration, and everybody else, it's like a domino effect in your life will feel it. You'll be miserable because taking, faith starts here in your head because you have to change your mind about a thing.
Right.
Usually about yourself. You usually got to change your mind about yourself.
Right.
Like, I really do have a strong accent and nobody else on TV has the accent that I have.
Right.
So if I want to do this, I need to change.
Yeah. And what's crazy about that is like that was 30 years ago. There's so many people with country accents on television now. Charles Barkley, Shaq mumbles. I mean, but that was then.
And they need a stylist.
And now
sorry. Sidebar. Okay, I'm sorry.
But anyway, you make a great point. I think it's spiritual in a sense because God, for people who are spiritual, God will tell you when it's time to pivot. Like you said, not just in professional life, but in your personal life as well.
Yeah.
When you start butting your head and you start seeing these dead ends and it's not moving forward and it's not serving you anymore.
Right.
When something isn't serving you in some kind of way, whether it could be money, whether it be an emotional investment that you're not getting, there could be something that you could be putting in that you're not getting a return from a friend.
Right.
It's time for you to pivot. And a lot of times people are afraid to do it because it's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Even in being uncomfortable with the position or the situation.
There you go.
You could be
uncomfortable.
But it's like it's more comfortable than trying to do something that's new and you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Well, and if you're dealing with another person, sometimes you just don't want to deal with the other person.
Right.
So you'd rather just keep it bottled up. Like, I'm just going to deal with myself and deal with it instead of having to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I know having to deal with it is also going to cause them some kind of discomfort.
Right.
Or they might be in the same position as you, but you just don't want to hurt people.
Right.
Or even if it's in a job, like, oh, I don't want to let them down, but I got to go this way.
Right.
This is my only life. It's my one shot. And if I don't do it now, not only will I never do it, but God's going to just go to the next person who's willing to do it. And that's the worst place to be in when God has given you an idea or shown you where to go and you stay stuck.
Right.
And then you see somebody else doing it. But God gave that to me. Yeah, he did. But he's going to find his deposit.
Right.
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 I used to tell my kids all the time, listen, a man or a friend, a woman, whatever, either they're adding to you or they're taking away.
Exactly.
Relationships in life is basic arithmetic and numbers don't lie. So if I'm here, it's like, okay, it's up to you. You got to choose wisely.
Like you said, don't miss your opportunity.
Don't miss it.
Because there's an opportunity God puts in front of you, you got to take that opportunity. When it's time, when he pushes you and you know it's time to leap, go ahead and leap. Go ahead and give the leap. They always say leap out on, leap out on faith, jump out on faith or whatever they always say. God's going to push you sometimes because the push can come when they fire your ass.
That's the wind you need.
Yep. Sometimes, and believe me, my best pivots in my life have come when I've been fired.
Ooh.
And that's so, like, there have been times where I've been miserable in situations when I was in Dallas. I'll get into that. I mean, I was almost about to destroy my career with this one guy who got rid of me, fired me, and he kind of blackballed me in the business. And I was couldn't get opportunities elsewhere because he was lying on me and saying things or whatever.
Blocking.
And I was about to drive down the tollway in Dallas, and I told you the story, and I'll tell it one day to somebody else, to you guys in the podcast. I was going to lose it all.
Yeah.
And God spoke to me and said, "What are you doing?" I mean, I still hear it clear as today. What are you doing? I got something so much better for you. And as mad as I was at that moment when God spoke to me, it calmed me down to the calmest I've ever been in my life. I went from this to that, just like that, just hearing, because I was so hot driving down that tollway in Dallas. When I went back to Dallas recently, I was on that tollway, and I thought about that moment. And I went from 1,000 to 1, just like that, because God spoke. And I was so hot in the car. It was 100 degrees outside at night in Dallas, and I had the air blowing, and I was just so fired up. And I had to roll my window down because I was still too hot, even though the air conditioner was on me. I was sweating. And when I rolled the window down, I heard it. Heard God. I swear to God, I heard him. He said, "What are you doing? I got something so much better for you."
Oh my gosh.
Next exit. The exit was right there. I got off that pivot. Got off.
Chill.
Turned around. Went back home.
Literal.
Pivot.
Literally, you turned around.
I turned around. Pivot. I was about to destroy it. And I was going to jail that night.
Yeah.
I wasn't just about to, like, okay, well, I'll never work in this business again.
Right. No.
I'm going to jail because now you've fired me, and now you're trying to stop me from feeding my family and my future. You're destroying my career. Okay, that was in Dallas, local market. Remember that. 5 years in, got fired. I was already on the way up. I was being written up in national magazines. I thought I was a hot shit. I needed to be humbled a little bit. He humbled me. That situation humbled me. Got fired, whatever. Once again, still unfair. Pivoted, got off on that exit. 2 months later, I got a call from ESPN. I got a call from ESPN. 2 months. 2 months later.
That's nothing.
2 months later, I got a call. And the job that he stopped me from getting was a job that I really didn't even want. I needed.
Right. Yeah.
I just wanted to work full time again. It was in Tampa, Florida. And it was a local job, and it was a terrible station or whatever, but I just wanted to get back on the air again. 2 months later, ESPN calls because I pivoted.
Wow.
So in life, man, sometimes
on a dime.
when you have to. You have to think, and you got to make these decisions in your life.
Wow.
And even in relationships with people, when you're going through things, like, we're afraid because, like you said, we grew up with somebody. The person might be, the microaggressions might be there, and you might see, oh, that's just, and you give them excuses or whatever. But you start seeing them because, especially when you start becoming a little bit more successful. Right. Because you can't carry people with you.
You know, I never think that any relationship is 50-50. It never is, because people, like, I'm in emotionally a lower state than I typically am with my mom passing, and, like, this first year, everything's a first without her. Even doing the podcast, first time I've never been able to call my mom and say, "Guess what we're doing?" Right. You know, so that every day is a first. Really, every day is a first without her. So, there's never an equal balance, but there should be a fair exchange of emotional receipts.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So it's like, okay, I've been here for emotionally, but I'm going to show up here for you. Let's just say, well, always physically. But,
I got you, girl. And so do you. Hold
on. Okay, that was between us. Okay. But, you know, I'm going to go and really carry my weight over here.
Right.
So I need you to coddle me a little bit more. I need you to be patient with me, because I some days I'm short, some days most days I'm just a crybaby for no good reason other than the sun came out and I'm so happy, you know, and it turns into a whole grief session. But I'm going to try to carry my load over here. It's when there's the filling of the cups just completely cease in all other areas.
Right.
Because there's so many areas to make a relationship whole, even when two people aren't carrying 50% of the load, because it's never going to happen.
Right.
There's never a time where we're balanced in life because something always needs more. So I need more of this from you or from my kids or from my job because I'm in a deficit right now. But I'm going to give more to make sure I'm giving more to you in another area.
Right.
So that your cups aren't all empty.
Can't be empty.
Because if everything is empty,
I can't give you anything if my cups are empty.
Then we have nothing.
Yep. And you got to fill your cup first. Once again, you got to put your oxygen mask on first in a sense, right? In order to do that or whatnot. But yeah, it's super important. And it doesn't have to be tit for tat. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. And it's because there might be ways you fill my cup that I'm not able to fill your cup that way.
Like, and this is where communication comes in.
Yep.
Honey, you see, I'm in a space and I don't know when it's going to end. I don't know because I don't know.
I was prepared for this that weekend, the Mother's Day weekend. You know what I mean? I know when that Mother's Day with that and when things happen, you start feeling the emotional roller coasters or the ups and downs or whatever. Okay, but that's getting to know somebody as well, and understanding like, okay, well, she needs this a little bit more. Right. She might be a little bit more on edge or whatever or whatnot. And we've even had discussions about me when it comes like, if I'm sleepy, if I'm hungry or sleepy, I'm a different person.
Yes, you are.
So understand, like, I'm sorry, I'm sleepy. You know what I mean? I just need some rest.
And there's a lot going on, and so we've learned even in therapy that. Well, first of all, we're not each other's enemy.
Not at all.
So if I'm quick to say something or he's short to say something, let's put it in perspective. Okay, where is he in his world? Has he been flying all day? Has he been working for 12 hours? Where is he in his world? Where is she in her world? Because at no given time are we each other's enemy.
Never.
And that goes with friendships, relationships, at work, wherever you are. You just have to think, okay, let me put everything in perspective. Now, once I've put everything in perspective and I'm weighing everything out, okay. I'm the only one giving? Do I need to pivot in this relationship?
Right.
Because if you're not pouring into me at all, and I'm the only one doing the pouring, I've had to say to close friends since middle school, since junior high school, how come you know everything about me, but I don't really know nothing about you? So I'm telling you all my business, but you're not sharing none of yours?
Right.
I have to rethink this because I'm all of a sudden feeling very exposed.
But you know, what do they say? Reason, season, lifetime? Yeah. Everybody's in your life is going to be in a reason, not going to be there for a season.
Yeah.
And people that they've been there for many seasons might not be there for a lifetime. And we even tell our kids that at the same time, like growing up, when they were in high school or whatever, they fall out with their friends with them. Like, friends you have now, probably not going to be your friends when you're in your 20s or whatever. And your friends in your 20s might not be there for you in your 50s or whatever. You look back at
the thing is with me, they were. Like I've had friends since,
but you know,
elementary school.
You've been the lucky
I've been
one.
very blessed.
You've been
with
very
that.
blessed in that.
But there have been people to fall off here and there, and times where I've said, okay, if I feel like this relationship, let's just say friendship first, if I feel like this friendship isn't pouring into me the way I need to, then and I'm doing all the pouring, I'm gonna start getting irritable, maybe even a little bitter. So I'm not doing a service for our relationship.
Right.
And then that goes right in. So I'm gonna have to pivot away from that and give that to God. Because I can't keep pouring into somebody who's not pouring into me. And then even in relationships, you have to know when, all right, this is gonna hurt and be hard, but I have nothing else to give.
Oh, I you know, the thing is, and as you get older, a lot of times you're talking about being in a relationship, especially in a romantic relationship. There have been times I've been in relationships, I'm like, okay, well, man, it doesn't work there. I've done this, especially marriages and everything like that. I'm like, okay, well, I can't. Yeah, I don't want to get into a divorce. I don't want to do that.
How many marriages we have between us?
We got 5. I got 3 of them. You know, once again, A for effort. Even if the A stand for alimony in the end, it's still we try. We're looking for love. We really want to find love. And you know, once again, mistakes happen and things happen along the way, and you got to live and learn or whatever. But what I've learned is that I'm not going to stay in anything, and this is my whole thing, that I am not happy in, that I'm not feeling comfortable in, that I feel
that both people aren't working toward making it better.
Or if it's, whether it's personal or professional, if there is a struggle for me to do that. Secret, a lot of people don't know this. Before I left, I was going to leave ESPN before me and ESPN mutually decided to part ways. I was like not going to sign another contract to ESPN. I was like, and I love, once again, ESPN has helped me, put me on the map, gave me what I have now. So I'm always going to be indebted to them or whatever, I think. But there was so many things that was happening there, whether it was the location of just not having any kind of life outside of work, or just the pay, or just the treatment by certain people, whatever, whatnot, and just seeing sometimes you feel like in any business there's unfairness.
Yeah.
You're seeing the unfairness or the favoritism towards other people that, you see that. We understand it's political or whatever. But I was like, when my contract's up, I was going to pivot. I was going to make that major pivot. I was going to leave ESPN even if I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, you know what? I'm out. The way God works, once again, because he felt me. I was at a time in my life when I was at ESPN, that last year I was there, I was physically sick going to work.
That's pivot time.
I would pull up. Yep, that's what I'm saying. God would tell you, I would pull up to the gate, sign in at security, put my security badge there, and I would see the building. I would feel like I need to throw up.
Wow.
That's when you know how much I love my job.
Yeah, I know.
You know how much I love doing what I do.
Too.
But going in there and having to deal with what I felt was toxicity.
Yeah.
It was making me sick and irritable. And I remember they actually had to call the ambulance one time because my heart was racing.
Wow.
I was having like an anxiety attack.
Oh my God. When it starts attacking you physically.
I said, it's time to go. I'm going to die. And once again, even in a relationship, when, people figure out what they want to, once again, I'm very open, transparent. Even in a relationship, I'm like, people always say, oh, you fumbled. No, I punted. There's a difference in fumbling and punting.
Yeah.
There's a difference. It's like, oh, I lost something. And it was like, oh, no, I'd rather let this go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, once again, I'm not putting it up, not saying anybody's at fault or anything like that. But I'm like, it's what I want.
Right.
And
wait, can we put a pin there real quick? Just real quick. We got to stop one thing. Let me say one thing. Yes, you've been married 3 times. I've been married twice. My stuff's not on Google.
Right.
Okay, that's the difference. And I wasn't on a show that put all my, anything that I would have never put on. So that's fine. But what people don't understand is we're in our 50s. You were married a decade here, a decade there. People act like you're just a little, a guy who just goes around, married this person for a year, this person. No, that would have been me. But with you were married for decades.
And I started at 19.
At
I got
19.
married. Yeah.
You have what? You have like
I got 22.
22 years.
I always tell people I've been married for 22 years. Now, it's 3 marriages and 3 divorces, but hey, it all counts.
It was for a long time. Like, these are lifetimes. It's not like you were just in and out. You have children.
I got children with 2 of them.
Great women who raised great daughters. And shit didn't work out. It's life, but it's over a span of a lifetime. It's not like it's 3 marriages in 5 years.
But the only one that they see that was, on television was the one that was over so quickly that they sent us the marriage certificate and divorce the decree in the mail at the same time with the same stamp. You know what I'm saying? Our first dance was our last dance. I just said.
Oh, I wish I could faint.
It was.
That was funny.
Yeah, it was fun. But once again, even then, knowing that I was going to get dragged and people not understand.
Oh, let's talk about that because you knew what was going to happen.
I knew I knew.
You knew the pivot was there.
Yep, I knew. Okay,
we're in this pivot, but I'm not going to die.
I'm not.
And I'm not going to drown.
I'm not going to stay in something that made both of us unhappy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just weren't happy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was miserable or whatever, but it was like, this is why stay in a lifetime? I understand marriage is supposed to be a lifetime, but we tried therapy and all that, the counseling, it didn't, not going to work out. It's just while we still.
But you tried therapy after you were married or before?
We tried. Well, I was in therapy beforehand.
Well, you by yourself. I mean, like couples though.
Couples therapy, we kind of like at the end, see if we, let's see if we can do.
Right.
And when that doesn't work,
that's what therapy's for.
You realize, hey man, this is. Let's just before we go at each other, let's just kind of like separate ways. And once again, both on board when it came to that.
But the harder pivot coming from that world was what was going to happen to you.
Yeah. And
because
I knew.
Other parties get paid for that. You didn't. And you have a whole job for 30-something years on the corporate side that doesn't want anything to do with that type of exposure.
And that's the hardest. But once again, I know God got plans for me. And I know things are looking up and you have to go through things. Sometimes when you pivot, you got to take a step back, right? So I had to take a step back. People think that strategize once again. I had to be torn down. In order for muscles to build, to grow bigger, they had to be torn down. They got to be stripped. I had to be stripped.
Yeah.
And me getting that divorce, leaving that show, still being in the business, I had to be stripped. And people always, and what kills me sometimes, I laugh at it now, when people say, well, the only reason he's able to do this and that because of that. I'm like,
what?
I did so much more before that. I didn't get paid for the show, right? I'm on the show, and then all of a sudden, when I leave the show, I can't really get on with other things.
Also, that has helped nobody. Everybody has lost their jobs, gone to jail.
Yep.
I mean, no man has escaped unscathed and actually made a better life for himself.
It has hurt me tremendously. Yeah. I'll say this. Opportunities have been lost just by association of being on that show.
Right.
Even when I was on the show when I was still married. Being there has hurt me. I've lost maybe millions. You know what I mean?
I want our money back.
But you know what? Once again, we say double for your trouble, triple for your trauma, and all the drama. So everything that I lost, I know I get back tenfold.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it.
Well, I'm here. You already won.
I'm
That's already
went.
triple.
Upgrade. Already.
Well, I'm just saying it like you are already, because you trusted God, you pivoted, you went through the hell that you knew was coming.
Right.
You didn't let the ego get in the way. You've been quiet.
Yeah, I've been very quiet.
You ain't said a word.
I won't. And like I said, I finally have a platform for me to say what I need to say or whatever, and get the truth out there, what's really the truth. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. One thing I won't do, I ain't gonna lie. Right. I ain't gonna lie to you. And if I made a mistake, I'm gonna tell you I made a mistake. I'll be the first one to admit that. But once again, when it comes to pivoting, final words, when it comes to this, I think, when you feel it, do it. Make it happen. Have a game plan for it. Don't be afraid of it. Life happens when you start making changes in your life. That's what's so great about life. That's what's so great about just being on this earth, man. It's just that the world changes. Hell, even presidential people who are your presidents make you change your life. All the people that have lost jobs because we got this administration in here or whatever, they've had to pivot.
Right.
Once again, sometimes when you can forecast it coming, the best people who pivot are the ones who do it before, once again, God tells you to get your ass out of here. I just had to do that because sometimes you get pushed. Like I said, that road ends.
Yeah.
Once again, you went through the detour signs or whatever and all that type of stuff like that, and then all of a sudden the road falls off into a cliff.
Right.
And God will give you a parachute. But once again, when you fall off that mountain, then you got to climb back up that mountain again. So when you see the detour signs, take them. Take the detours. You'll still get to your destination. Don't be afraid of it.
And I would say, with my final pivot word, a few things. Life comes in seasons, right? We now have relabeled that eras.
Right.
Because I'm tired. Seasons go by too fast.
Yep.
Okay. So we're in our best era.
Right.
But if you think about, just life in seasons, it's not like your best life. I'm just talking about like this. We have 4 seasons in life with weather, right? So you have these opportunities that come, and you don't want to miss. If you're supposed to make a move in the winter, you don't want to have to wait till next winter if that's when you were supposed to make the move, right? So I remember while we were talking, I was thinking about this conference I used to do. I didn't even realize it till just now. It should have been on pivoting, but I called it YES. And I love acronyms. So YES stood for what was it? Hold on, I forgot it. Hold on a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. I lost it now. Oh, here it goes. I'm back. So, okay, cut. All right, action. All right. So, YES in this conference I was doing stood for Your Empowerment Strategy. So, me being a strategist, it was like, okay, this is how you, looking back now, how you pivot. You create this strategy to get to your own yes. What does that mean? You create your own yes.
Yes, you do.
And if you're in a no season, you need to create your own yes by creating a strategy, a pivot.
Right.
So, and then you strategize. I just pivot and go. But Michael's showing me to slow down just a little bit. You pivot.
With a strategy.
Yep. And go.
And go.
And go has been my acronym. Jesus, I can't talk right now. Go has been,
it's your acronym. Yeah,
is that an acronym? Is it acronym?
Acronym.
I'm hungry and I'm sleepy.
Okay,
here we go.
All right.
So GO has been my acronym for your greatest opportunity. I wrote a book about it. Go. The Go Life.
The Go Life.
Seize your greatest opportunity now. So you pivot with your yes, your empowerment strategy to get to your go, your greatest opportunity.
Right.
And guess what? Now you're where you're supposed to be on your purpose path.
Right.
You could have stayed stuck over here. You could have let ego get in the way, which is what? Edging God out. But nope. You decided to pivot with your strategy to get to your goal.
And you let comfort you get too comfortable. And sometimes you get too comfortable. And now once again, you're going to get stuck. And God's going to make you super uncomfortable after a while. So Move, jump, make the move. We did it. We're doing it. Still doing it. Behind the scenes,
Yep.
a lot of stuff, making things happen, including this podcast. We appreciate everybody.
Yes.
Between us, man, it's just been so much fun, and we got so many more episodes coming for you. We got some guests coming. We got our great shout out to our producer Sharavius.
Woo, Sharavius!
I want to shout out Sharavius and Keisha, who works with it. They do so much behind the scenes helping us out. And thanks to this location that we're here in Atlanta.
Pete, we're in Atlanta because we're doing Mother's Day weekend with Mike's mommy and celebrating my mommy in heaven.
Yep.
And
Scutch.
SKUTCH.
Yeah. So if you're in Atlanta, man, come and check out. This is great.
It's amazing.
We got. See, we're so big now. We got different studios in different locations. We're in Atlanta. We got one in L.A., San Antonio.
Yep. God's enlarging our territory.
Enlarging, and once again, double for your trouble, triple for your trauma, and all that drama that God all that
endure. Shout out to William Murphy.
Shout out to William Murphy. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all you guys once again for making this podcast what it is and continuing to allow it to grow. We enjoy doing it. I just love spending time with her. We talk like this all the time, so we might as well just share
with you guys. But you guys send us some letters, I guess, via DM here on Patreon or on Instagram. If you have any questions or any topics you guys want us to talk about, because together we've been on this earth for about 107 years.
Yes. Well, no, it's 8 now. You just
oh my God! Did I just? I sure did. Well,
you just happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. So send them on in. We did have a fun time. I haven't even posted it yet, but I can't post everything. But send them in because we have a lot of life experience between us. We got 5 marriages. We got 5 kids. We got a dog here and there. We got our mammies and our pappies, and I'm an orphan, but I use Mike's mom.
Yes, you do. And we got you guys.
And we have a lot of work experience. And we have you guys.
Yep.
So I don't even know where the camera is.
It's
there
right there.
It is. Thank you.
There.
The lights are blinding me.
That's okay.
Lights are blinding me.
I had fun, babe. Appreciate you.
I love
you. I love you too.
Thank you.
Let's do it.
You know, I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah, that jury right there be killing me sometimes.
Oh.
You know, I got sensitive hands, you know what I'm saying?
You're just so
I'm light skinned, you know what I'm saying?
God.
Anyway. Thank you guys for checking us out, man. We will see you again next time. This is Mike Hill.
Paige Turner.
And this is another episode of Between Us with Mike and Paige. We'll see you next time, y'all.
Bye. Thank you for watching Between Us with Mike and Paige. New episodes drop every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on Patreon. Also, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms at betweenus.live. We appreciate you for listening, and let's always keep things right between us.